this could not have come at a worse time for the San Diego Padres. We got to talk about the latest pitching injury news and what it means for the bullpen, what it means for the Padres, what it means for you guys as fans. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into the show where I, a random guy on the internet, talk Padres with you, other random people on the internet. Thanks for checking in. If you could do the internet thing and hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. All right, let's go back to the baseball, and we got to just get to the news of Jhony Brito is the latest San Diego Padre to go in the wrong direction injury status-wise. This video is going to be specifically on Brito and the pitching staff. If you were looking for other people like Ethan Salas and the offensive players, we have other videos on them. You can go check it out. But Brito, as you can see, the UCL, he is getting Tommy John, and that's a 12-month thing. And you'll read some people say that the internal brace version of this surgery is a quicker recovery than others, and that may or may not be true, but it's not Adrian Pedersen coming back from an ACL in 6 months because he's a Herculean work effort. Like, this is a year-long thing. You just look at Joe Musgrove and the recovery that he's having. Like, he's progressing, but that's a part of multiple seasons. So Brito's gone for the rest of this year and into next year. He had not pitched since spring, and so this is not a direct, oh my goodness, man down, Padres are losing a dude out of the bullpen right now. But I bring this up in terms of this being the worst time for this to happen because the Padres bullpen has been Herculean. I mean, truly God status to start the season up until the last couple of games. And I'm thinking specifically about the Angels game, where it all fell apart with Suarez in the end. But there have just been a couple of other ones dotted in Colorado and here and there. There have been some signs that, like, the Padres bullpen's at least coming back down to earth. With that being said, this is not an alarmist video of saying, like, oh, our bullpen is screwed and we need a fix and Brito is going to be it and it's all falling apart. But in taking a look just at the injury situation, there are a fair amount of what I would describe as, like, just dudes on there, like not even really working out with all the specific hierarchy of he's a guy, he's a man, he's a dude, he's the dude, all that, but just guys who Brian Hoeing, Logan Gillespie, Matt Waldron, I think are the three names specifically that come to mind for me in terms of, like, they could be out there beneficially eating innings and helping maybe save some of the strain or the repetition or the film getting out of there or whatever angle it is that sometimes just works against guys over the course of 40-plus appearances in a major league season. I look at all those guys not being there and not being particularly close to returning, and to see then Brito go, to me, is it's a big bummer. I will show you stat-wise what the Padres are missing out on. Well right now for the Padres. So having just guys out there, and this is independent of, like, I don't even really think we need a competition anymore for the 5-man in the rotation. So that's where I'm viewing Waldron amongst the list of people that could be coming out of that bullpen, because I think that with the rotation that we got, Waldron in that bullpen also could be nasty. But Waldron, Gillespie, they're not any closer to returning, and now Brito is further away from returning. He will be gone, like I said, all of this year and then into some of next year. It just cumulatively, to me, seems like the Padres started. Yes, you can always bring up minor league guys, and this video may be doing a disservice to minor league guys that the Padres currently have that can get called up and become those guys or are ready to be those guys, and plus Ruben Niebla could be those guys. But I would say that the focus seems to maybe be narrowing down in terms of what do the Padres need in order to be the next level, be that elite team, be that team that can get past Dodgers, get past the Phillies, get to the World Series. I firmly believe whoever wins the National League is going to win the World Series this year because it's just that loaded and it's just that nasty. But it went from an off season where we're losing a bunch of free agency battles and the Padres are just like, we'll take anybody we can get, to now I think we have a kind of focused rationale of we could use a solution at left field. Catcher, we would always be open to an upgrade. Shortstop, there's gripes about Xander being overpaid, but he's fine. So really, those two, left and catcher, and then as much bullpen help as you can get. But if you're looking at it with the lens of we've got 4 or 5 dudes still to come back, I don't think it becomes as much a priority. Maybe it falls behind those 2 position players. If you're looking at it through the lens of our sort of B-tier dudes are just not healthy, they're just not here, maybe we need to, if we're going to dish Cease or if we're going to make some sort of crazy shuffle down the line as we get closer, be on the lookout for a team that has a guy that you can snipe in terms of quality relief. And that's where I just think if you had some guys coming back, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But now with it going in the wrong direction, especially with Brito being gone now, all of this season into next season, you can always benefit from gaining at least an arm, if not an arm or 2 through multiple deals. Like I said, not all of these dudes need to be like top tier elite guys. I'm not saying we need to go out and overpay for somebody, but bringing in an arm that has not thrown in that division against the net. Like if you're getting a guy from the American League Central to play in a series against an NL West team, maybe they haven't seen him a ton. Maybe it's just that new look itself that sometimes the change of venue can really help elevate a guy. So there are probably a bunch of guys out there that the Padres can get in that mid-tier price range to help offset the loss of our dearly beloved comrade, Jhony Brito here. Let me know, though, what you think. Drop a comment below on if you think that the Padres have a specific guy that they should go get. If there is just really me being hyperbolic and panicky, and in reality, the Padres should just chill and wait till the second half of the season and get those guys healthy and still just focus on left field or catcher, or just what in general you think is going on with the pitching staff. Maybe they got through their rough patch and they're going to put it all back together and everything's going to be okay for the rest of the season. They will be back to being locked down, absolute bulletproof bullpen. Also, I said I would only bug you once, but I lied. I'll bug you twice. If you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Until next time, Padres fans, go check out all the other videos we've got every day coming in terms of stories, game reactions, everything you need to just pass the time as a Padres fan between Fernando Tatis memorable moments. Talk to you guys soon, and as always, keep the faith. 2025 is getting better and better with every single game.